We have a beautiful white
I was gonna say, I was gonna say, nice piece in the background you have there.
piece, which is clothes divine today. No, no pun intended. It's so nice to see you, Matt. We haven't seen you in person, but at least we get to see you on Zoom.
I know. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah, just plugging along.
Matt, our first question was about when you begin a piece, when starting, what are some of your considerations and how much of an idea do you need before you actually begin working?
It depends. So if it's a commission piece, then there's a lot of considerations that are happening. Commission piece is very site specific, has to be a certain size. We're trying to, fill the space that's already there. And so there's a ton of considerations happening on that. For just if I'm just kind of making stuff just out of free creativity, then I don't really consider too much, actually. I mean, I might have a loose general idea, but I kind of just try to let the creativity flow and see where it takes me, and see what doors that might potentially open up for new pieces or new styles or the such. So yeah.
And then when you work in the different types of materials, how do you think that affects what you produce?
It's more technical than anything, because the processes are different for different types of metals. So if I'm working on a steel piece, it allows me to work a lot faster, and so I feel like it's a little bit more spur of the moment. It's a little bit more kind of trying to capture an energy that's happening in the moment. I work really, really quickly, but when we're working with aluminum or stainless or bronze, it's a little bit of a slower process just because of the welding process and the fabrication process. And so that has a little bit more like slower, meditative, it's kind of just trying to get into this more relaxed state. So I would say that's kind of a big difference. Like if I'm working with steel, it's almost not that it's hyper, but it's definitely like I'm really trying to capture an energy in the work. And then the aluminum, it's a little bit more, I'm really thinking more about where everything's going and the layers and the effects and how that's gonna go.
So do you think then different subject matters come out of the different materials that you use?
I think so, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Because there's certain things I can do with steel that I can't do with aluminum, and vice versa. And there's certain things I can't do with aluminum I can't do with bronze or stainless. So yeah, the material definitely dictates what you can and can't do, for sure. Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever move on to the different types of materials that aren't metal?
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of putting a little bit of concrete in some things. Like I'll do a concrete base on some stuff. We've done a few pieces like that together. I've done some wooden bases, but I don't know if I'd ever incorporate like glass or, mix something actually into the composition of the piece. I don't really see that at this moment.
Yeah.
Not to say that won't happen, but I don't see that right now. So I'm pretty like, I like, I'm such a metalhead, I just like, kind of have it all as together as one. So,
yeah. So Matt, do you feel like your focus has shifted over the years and your subject matter or your?
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think for more, earlier on, it was more kind of negative space and kind of focusing on shadowing heavy and more kind of what the pieces were doing together. Now what I'm really trying to create is I'm trying to get movement, really get a lot of movement out of the work and get a lot more flow, a lot more direction out of the work. Before it was definitely, it was more about the mental process state I was trying to get to while I was making it. And it was like, okay, whatever the result, that was the result. Now there's definitely more like, okay, I'm trying to push that as far as like trying to control the work a little bit more than I used to. It was definitely a little bit more kind of whatever came about. Now it's like, okay, I'm just trying to control it to have more movement and more flow, more direction, I guess would be the best way to describe it.
Kind of continually exploring different avenues and ways to interpret your work.
Yeah, absolutely. And my work is so, minimalistic and so repetitive. And so, and I still love that form of it, but lately I'm kind of going, okay, can I take the work a little further to have, I typically don't want my work to have a meaning at all. Like I want the viewer to see what they want to see. I want it to be completely abstract. If you see something great, if you don't, it's more about a state you're getting into when you're looking at it. But lately and I don't know, I don't know if it's just the state of the world or what's been happening. It seems like with so much shit going on, it's like, can I have my pieces mean a little bit more, but still containing that, very abstract, so maybe have more subtle references to maybe more stuff I'm experiencing or stuff that internally. And so that's kind of on my mind lately. Not really sure 100% where that's going, but that's definitely, I'm kind of looking ahead at this point to going, okay, how can I have the work have a little bit deeper meaning to it? So
Well, we love your work, and we're thrilled to have you as part of the gallery. Okay, well, thank you so much, Matt, and I'll look forward to that piece behind you with
okay.
Fun
Nice.
rest of the day.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Good seeing you guys.
All right.
You too.
Okay. Yep. Bye.
Bye.